we're going to be starting now on the digestive system. So here's your introduction then. So the digestive system first supplies necessary nutrients to the body. And then second, it performs any other chemical exchanges. So, it consists of two things then. The first is a muscular tube. This then is the digestive tract itself. Which is also known as the gastrointestinal or GI tract. Also sometimes known as the alimentary canal. These are all terms for the same thing. I will usually refer to it as the GI tract or the gastrointestinal tract. So the way that it works is that it actually performs a series of integrated functions. Sometimes these functions overlap in time and even feed off of one another, but nonetheless you can kind of see them as a series of overlapping steps. So here's where we start. So as I said, now we're talking about the functions, how this thing actually works then, which then is a series of integrated steps. So to begin with, there is ingestion, just taking the food in. So this, then, is when materials enter the mouth and go into the GI tract. So that's step one. Step two then is mechanical processing. Now in this case, mechanical refers to things happening as a result of just plain physical processes. So mechanical processing of food is chewing, for instance, but it also includes the squashing of food, and the churning then of food that is done by the stomach. Then we get to actual digestion. Now, digestion technically is the chemical disassembly of food into its component molecules. So although we call it the digestive system and it refers to lots of other things, the process of digestion is specifically the chemical breakdown of food. So this refers then to the chemical disassembly of ingested food into its component molecules. So that's the process of digestion. Now, accompanying digestion is secretion. We really can't do the digestion without the secretion, because this aids the digestion by providing acids, bases, enzymes, and buffers that are used in and indeed are necessary to digestion. Without these acids and bases and buffers and enzymes, that chemical disassembly couldn't take place. So the secretion is absolutely crucial to the digestion. Carrying on with this, then, the secretion is done then by both the GI tract itself and by the accessory organs. So we have lots of things making these secretions. The next step then is absorption. And I'm actually going to put a star next to this one. This is the big ticket item. This is why we have a digestive system. The digestive system exists so that we can absorb these molecules into our bodies and use them in the various ways that our bodies need these molecules. So this is actually the really important step. This is why we have a GI tract at all. So this then is the movement of nutrients, that is to say calorie-containing molecules. So it's the movement of nutrients, vitamins, and so on, then out of the GI tract and into the body. And this is usually done by way of the bloodstream. So this is the big one. This is, as I said, why we have this system at all. So then the next in this series of steps then is compaction. So after we have managed to get as much valuable nutrients out of this absorption process as we can, when we've taken in the food, we've chemically broken it down, we've absorbed lots of useful molecules into our bodies, we've got stuff left and we need to make it smaller. So then we get into compaction. So this then is when indigestible materials and dead bacteria. We have lots of bacteria in our large intestine. Eventually they die, so they move out too. So eventually we wind up in the process of compaction, taking the indigestible materials and the dead bacteria, and these then are dehydrated. That is to say, a lot of the water gets removed. And this happens then prior to excretion. Then we have excretion itself, and this is the body simply getting rid of what is now fecal material. And that, of course, is why the process of getting rid of fecal material is called defecation.